Appreciate you joining us. On the hot seat today, we put the spotlight on Elastic, the company behind Elasticsearch and the Elastic Stack. Open source company Elastic provides a suite of solutions that help businesses overcome problems with unstructured and semi-structured data. To elaborate on the road ahead at the NASDAQ-listed company, joining me now is Elastic's global CEO, Ashutosh Kulkarni. Ashutosh, welcome to Startup Street. Now, like I mentioned, Elastic offers solutions for enterprise search, observability, and security built on one technology stack that can be deployed anywhere. In fact, you claim that from finding documents to monitoring infrastructure to hunting for threats, Elastic makes data usable in real time and at scale. So talk to us about the kind of efficiency you bring in for your clients, and if you could also share some use cases.
I'll give you some examples of how our search analytics platform gets used. Let's take some examples in the banking sector. Everything from being able to quickly allow customers to access their banking information through your banking portal, to search for transactions that they might have done many years ago, to be able to quickly get a sense of all their information the way they want to see it. That's one search example, all the way to then allowing that bank to monitor their commerce application, their online portal, to make sure that application is always up and running. That is what we call observability. That involves looking at all the telemetry from the application, the network, all layers of the infrastructure stack to ensure that, by correlating across all of that information, we can identify issues before they occur, degrading that application performance. That's observability. And then lastly, cybersecurity, getting all the information from all of these different sources to make sure that we can detect in real time potential threats, ransomware, malware, even insider threats. That's the kind of work that Elastic does.
All right. Thank you, Ashutosh, for taking us through your offerings. But, generative AI is the talk of the town. But despite the hype, can generative AI surpass the technical, legal, and security challenges to become an established search engine for businesses?
That's a great question. So you're absolutely right that on both fronts, the generative AI is truly changing the art of the possible. The beauty of search has always been that it has allowed people to access information in very natural ways, right? Search is very user-friendly. It's something that my parents can use, right? And that's what has made it such a wonderful way to access information. And what generative AI is doing is it's making that even more user-friendly. Now you can have a conversation with the system and have it provide just the right information to you. And that unlocks all kinds of use cases, improving the efficiency of different business processes, improving e-commerce applications to make them more user-friendly, just across the board, every industry. Now, the legal and security constraints that you brought up are absolutely important, because although AI can be a wonderful source of change and improvement in technology, it also has some risks associated with it. And probably the biggest one is, how do you make sure that in your effort to try and use AI and generative AI, you don't end up giving away your prized assets, which is your data. So we provide in real time private context to the large language model without the business having to hand over or share all of its data. I personally believe that generative AI is going to be the same kind of major technology shift as we saw with cloud computing in the past. So I'm very bullish on it.
All right. On that bullish note, Ashutosh, if you could talk to us quickly about Elastic's India opportunity, if you could take us through some of the key innovations from Elastic's India R&D Center, and how do you plan to expand your presence here?
Yeah, so Elastic is a distributed by design company. So we have employees in over 45 countries. And as you can imagine, given the amazing talent pool that exists in India, we've had a presence in India for a very long time now. And everything from core engineering teams to our customer teams that not only sell to businesses in India, but also support and implement major projects for customers in India. We have the breadth of all of these different capabilities and functions within India. In terms of the innovations, a lot of the core capabilities around observability, which is all about monitoring systems to ensure their uptime, around security, have come from India. And I expect that as we progress further, a lot more of the effort around machine learning, around AI, will also naturally be done in our development centers here in India.
All right. One final question for you, Ashutosh. How do you plan to further revolutionize the future of enterprise search? What's in the pipeline? Take us through some of the new offerings.
Imagine the possibility where I can, show a picture of the kinds of clothes I like. It might be some model or some celebrity who wore something that I thought was really interesting. And I can just take that link and put it in the chat window and say, I want clothes similar to this. And that image can then be converted into specific vectors. And I don't want to go into technical jargon, but fundamentally, like doing image matches to understand the kinds of clothes that I'm looking for. Then search within that e-commerce site's inventory, and then showing me very relevant pieces that I might be actually interested in. I mean, that's the art of the possible. That's a place where now I'm almost getting a personal shopper, if you will, who's actually finding information for me. But it's really the system. It's the AI that's doing that kind of work. Imagine that kind of model just transforming e-commerce. And that's what enterprise search is moving towards when it comes to generative AI. And that's what's making it so exciting.
All right, Ashutosh, we wish you the very best for all of these plans. Many thanks for joining us on Startup Street today. With that, it's time for us to take a short break. On the other side, Infinity Learn hits 100 crores in revenue mark in FY23. We speak to the president and CEO to find out their growth outlook. Stay tuned.